Right, welcome traders. I saw you guys for pre-market prep. I'm on again here. Well, Dan and Andre should be joining all shortly as well. But I hope you guys are having a good week so far. What's up, NQ? We can see DAX trading above previous day's highs. Yes, it's still trading as an inside day from the extended market hours. NQ did take its previous day's highs as well. And then YM's been the lag of the three indexes as well, trading at the lows of week as well. So interesting rally yesterday after we've still been in quite a big range after the pump up last week, Monday and Tuesday. We're going to get Dan on in a bit. Yeah, what's up, Sumo? What's up, Dan?
Morning. How are you, buddy?
All good, bro. All good. Yeah, I've been
Happy
off for the last 2
belated birthday, by the way, mate, as well.
Yeah, cheers. Thank you.
as
Yeah, I
as if
missed
as
that
if you are
rally.
only 28, mate.
Yeah, only 28. I'm still young, bro. I'm still young. Yeah. What's up, Andre?
Morning.
How's my audio?
Yeah, sounds fine. Sounds good.
Perfect.
There's no button-up shirt, so maybe that's why it's not as clear. But yeah, no. So still young, Dan. Still got a lot to learn, and still got no hair left though. Trading tomorrow. Yeah, obviously we rallied quite incredibly yesterday. I was on my pre-market prep stream speaking about. So I made a post on Twitter about the opening candle continuation, and someone was like, I don't know. You're always going to get some people making comments and, oh, yes, well, if runner A starts 50 meters, 100-meter race above runner B, of course, runner A should win. I said, yes, but not if runner B is Usain Bolt. But anyway, I should have replied with that. But no, I don't use that. I was just expanding on the pre-market prep. I don't use that opening candle continuation as a entry model. I think like the RB25 or the RB75 or the RB50 is a much better entry model. I use the opening candle continuation as a directional bias. I think because one of the reasons why day traders do get messed up quite a bit, and why most traders do lose, in fact, is that they're chopping off bias. For example, they'll go long 10 in after 10 minutes, and then 10 minutes later they're short and they lose on the short. And then they'll win, and then they'll try and trade long, and it's the changing of bias. I think that opening candle continuation helps me with the long. And I think just having a look at NQ yesterday, I wasn't on the charts, and didn't take any trades. But if you look at this, is the opening first 30 minutes is bullish, and the first hour is bullish, of course. But how you can use an entry model is maybe a VWAP. You're getting this pullback to the New York Session Open VWAP, and you're scalping maybe for a long back up to the highs. And I think couple that together, because then how so many traders do see this. Oh, the top's in, we start to sell it, and then they end up taking the loss. And I think, and then they try and buy it at the highs. So use the opening candle continuation and the edgeful data with entry models that you have seen, like for example VWAP or the RB50, like Dan uses, or 75 and so forth. But that's my thoughts on today. I'm not too sure how much volume we're going to get in today's price action. It seemed ES has been very, very quiet here pre-market. What are your thoughts, Dan, on the markets this morning, and Andre?
Dan, you can.
Yeah, I mean, with it, we've been waiting for a move like yesterday for a while, haven't we? It feels like a lot of this week has just been sharp, and the range has not been too big. But yesterday was just what we were looking for. For me personally, though, it just moved way too quickly. And it just left the station, and then as soon as it broke the IB high, it's all the time. If I just share my screen, whenever we break that IB high, it just does the similar thing all the time, where it just chops sideways for a lot of the session. If we look here, yesterday, as soon as we broke the IB high yesterday, it just chops sideways. That's personally why I like to get off the desk by about 11:30, because once that IB break happens, it does just chop sideways. And I think if you missed that move yesterday, you would have just been sitting in chop for a lot of the day yesterday. But I agree with that big move yesterday. I'm not expecting big moves today in the market, but we'll see. I mean, this week for me has been the most boring week of trading for me in the year. Like I have not taken a single trade. Or did I take? Or maybe I had a break even on Monday. But seriously, it's just like it's been proper boring all week because of just
How many
it's
people do you
been
think
shot,
can
isn't
sit on
it?
their hands like that though?
No, not many. Not many.
Not many.
But I know
Not
what
many.
happens when I don't sit on my hands and I enter
Yeah,
in those choppy
but
markets, and that's
that's
just experience now, isn't it? You know?
Yeah, that's the thing
So-
is like if you can't sit on your hands, you're always gonna take bad trades. When you take bad
course.
trades, that leads to more bad trades. But if you can sit on your hands, like guys in the chat who have traded every single day of the last 6 months, like there's no possible way that there's been a good setup every single day of the last 6 months.
No.
Like you're just trading to trade.
I think Chris Camillo also said that. He's like, I know all of us would love to, take punts on every single big Mag 7 earnings, but if you did all your research into maybe one or two every quarter, maybe one every quarter, you have a more high likelihood of making money, and crashing like he did on that Amazon trade.
Yep.
It's the same as the day trades. If you maybe take maybe 2 or 3 good trades a week, probably end up more often than not instead of trying to trade 10 trades a day.
Yep.
But just to go, something that is working well for me, even though I haven't really been on the desk much, is I woke up this morning and I looked at my swing positions. My Tesla's working out quite nicely. My Tesla's
beautiful.
swing play that I've been in since the 4th of August. So that's up in the money now. I wasn't really paying too much attention to it because I was back at break even or slightly in drawdown after Wednesday's close. And then I really didn't even look at the charts yesterday. I think also taking time off of the charts is also quite important for us as traders, whether you're day trading or swing trading, whatever you are doing. But looked at it this morning up quite nicely, and then my meta swings as well, Andrea, are back in profit.
Dude, I need meta back at like 7.
Yeah, I'm at 589, so that's my entry. But other than that, I haven't really been looking at the charts too much the last day or so.
What gives me a little bit more confidence about meta is that anything below 600 continues to get bought up pretty aggressively. Like if you pull up meta again, or
let's change my screen. Yep, there you go.
Like if you go to a 4-hour chart and you just zoom out, like anything below 600 is just getting bought.
Yes, it's getting bought up,
which is great. I mean, listen, I'm more than happy to have to buy at a lower price, but like I'm not really interested to see meta at like in the 400s, to be honest.
Sure.
Like that would be not great. Even though I am like long-term very bullish on meta, I don't really want to see it go that far down because let me just pull up my screen one sec. I don't have my monitor with me, but I did order one, so.
What? Yeah, you need one of those traveling monitors.
Dude, you know what? Actually, before I share my screen, I bought a portable monitor, and I'm looking at you on the portable monitor, and it is the worst. Don't buy a portable monitor. At least the one that I got, it's horrendous. The quality is like unusable. I'm looking at it right now. It looks like a giant iPad. It's not great. So I ordered a real monitor, but
nice. Yeah, I've got a portable monitor, works pretty well.
I mean, I don't know. I'm very like picky about the quality, and I don't like when it's blurry or like the color is just bad. But if you just look at this here, like just for the guys who are in here for like the first time, looking at the meta chart, pretty much I remember right down here, this is when meta broke 90. At the time, looking at this chart, you're looking at meta down almost 80% off of the highs. The sentiment around it was so bad at the time that I was like, wow, like Zuck really like dropped the ball. The trust is gone. They're getting sued by all the countries like the EU, the UK, whatever. Like, I don't know what was happening. It was horrendous at the time. And I remember this point was when I was like, I was like in disbelief about how much the stock has been getting crushed. And I was like, oh, I don't want to touch it. And then it literally has made a 850% move up from there. And then now it's up 615 from the lows. But I never bought it. I never bought it because there was never another decent pullback. Everything was just like virtually an elevator up until the April tariffs. At this point, I wasn't like too interested over here. And I've been waiting and waiting and waiting. So after the earnings where they got really demolished here is when I started to look into buying it. And pretty much I've been like averaging in throughout this whole period, down here, up there, literally throughout this entire period I've been averaging in. And I'm hoping that this is the bottom, this 520 is the bottom. That would be ideal, obviously. And looking into, not over the next like 2 weeks, but like looking into a move back to all-time highs.
Yeah, well, then that would be good for my swing.
Yeah, James, I'm pulling up.
Yeah, I've got the charts up here. So we've just had the open. ES coming down a little bit, NQ popping a little bit, looks like it, yes. So what's very interesting as well, and if you look at YM, look at this, bro. Look at YM is trading at its low of week, actually literally almost at the low of week. It actually took out the opening week range low, which is Monday and Tuesday's high and low. We've taken out the lows on Thursday morning and then into yesterday's afternoon as well. It's actually interesting. YM actually had a dump yesterday, whereas look at NQ and ES trading well above its opening week range high, which is at 29,970. So we obviously having, the tech stocks have picked up a little bit because we have seen NQ trading off of its highs for quite some time. It actually still hasn't hit an all-time high yet. In fact, actually, we still are down off all-time highs, just 2% now. But, whereas ES and YM did hit an all-time high. But that's been an interesting one as well this morning. But someone asked me what I would like to do today. I mean, I've been long biased on the indexes for majority of this week and last week as well. So buying pullbacks on ES it looks ideal. I just don't know how much volume we're going to get in today with that massive move yesterday. We might just get something like this, Andre. Like where we just kind of just trade that personally. So I'm personally not super geez, I need to take this is my A quality day today right now.
Yeah.
If things change, then we'll see. But I think actually what Dan's mentioning now, I think. How much mental capital does Dan save as well? Instead of sitting in a trade for 5 hours, he just goes and climbs the Burj Khalifa or something like that.
I'll tell you what though, it's one of those where I think staying out of trades and being flat all week, it does take some mental capital.
Sure.
Then I have to weigh it up as if I'm entering into choppy markets and trying to trade those, am I using more mental capital? Because it's not easy sitting on your hands, walking away. Oh, I broke the IB high before it came back for me. Oh, it's choppy. I have to walk away today. That I feel like that takes some mental capital in itself. But how much it takes versus the choppy markets when I know I shouldn't be entering those markets. I trade, I lose or I win, but it takes half an hour or 45 minutes to get to my TP slowly but surely. That amount of mental capital is huge. So I have to weigh up the two, and I'm happy with this week, for sure.
Yeah, I'm actually at the point. I must say, when I'm, especially now, I've been thinking a lot about this, which is, it's good at edgeful promo, but I actually am thinking about this because my second boy is going to be born now at the end of October. I'm actually thinking from a day trading perspective, I might be letting my algos do my day trading for at least a month or something like that, from a day trading aspect. And then I might just do my manually or discretional trades might just be swing trades. I'm actually I've been speaking to my wife and that about, because I don't want to make the same mistakes I did last time when my first son Beckham was born. I messed up royally when he was born. I was trying to day trade from the flipping hospital room while she was recovering. It's not ideal. Yeah. So I think I might be letting the edgeful algos do my day trading, and then I'll obviously be on stream here speaking more about the discretional swing trading stuff. So yeah,
I remember that actually, and I remember we had a conversation about that. I think it's probably a good idea.
I think so too. My swing trading has also been really, really nice, and I actually enjoy it because, of course, does that eliminate losses? No, you're going to take losses whether you're swing trading or day trading. But at least I'm only really looking at them once every day compared to being glued to the screen, and I've got maybe less sleep because of the baby and so forth. So going to be interesting to see how we go. But you can go check out the edgeful algos. I currently run the orb algo on the DAX and and NQ, but you can check them out on the left-hand side there too. And the APIs, I've been checking the API as well, Andre, and trying to help me, like, and the optimizer obviously too. So
I would recommend I know both of you guys like the orb. I would say to look at the orb on ES on a 30-minute orb.
30-minute orb.
30-minute orb. Try it.
Interesting.
I would recommend you guys.
See, the 5-minute orb for me at the moment is doing so well. Like, I think it's won 4 times this week. It won 3 or 4 times last week. It's on it's on a ripper at the moment. It's pretty good. The 5 minutes. Not being too bad as well. Interestingly, though, looking, because I do have a look at the. I know I shouldn't look at the trades that Algo took after the session. I should just forget about it and leave it. But I just find myself always going to the chat and see how did the Algo do today. And it's very interesting. All the wins are usually when we've wicked one side of the 5-minute up, and then we go back up. So it's like a double break in itself. But the Algo isn't trading it as a double break. The Algo is trading it based on the close outside the orb, which is quite interesting. But yeah, very interesting though, looking at it.
Someone in the chat actually says exactly what I was just mentioning now, letting my day trades be either from the algo and then doing my manual discretion swing trading. Someone already says in the chat that's what I do. I think that's someone actually, the reason I'm also was actually looking at this because of obviously what happened previously, but I actually got a message too literally about 2 hours ago of someone that's struggling with their day trading, Andre. And I was like, listen, bro, maybe day trading is not for you, and you should just be looking at swing trading and let like an actual algo with a historical data do that for you.
Yeah. I mean, it's also like a commitment thing, like being able to
coming down,
like have the attention to do it every day, to like sit and not just like open your screen at 9:30 and just like dive into it, like being able to sit and like look at like have a pre-market routine, have a pre-trading routine, whether it's if you trade the 9:30 open or you trade the close or you trade London or whatever it is, like you have to have a routine. And if you don't have a routine, like it's gonna be really hard to like have consistent process. And I think that at the end of the day, like process is probably going to be the most important thing for this. But like even for me, like it's so much harder to trade when I'm not on stream because I'm on calls.
That's why
I'm doing work.
You've been playing those options. Because
it's just like easier. It's like less. I need to be less involved when I'm selling options. And it really helps overall because of that. Because I don't have to be as involved. I don't have to have like such a routine. I don't have to be sitting there and like waiting for the perfect entry. I just like kind of sell them, and then I have it up obviously on my charts. It's like it's very hard for me to not look at the chart when I'm in a trade. But
of course.
But yeah, I mean, like it's just
when it comes tweeting and you're getting blown out the water.
I mean, I spoke about this on Monday too, but I don't know, it was just like unbelievable, to be honest.
I know that is. I know a lot of people got smoked on that move down. I know a few other guys in my group as well were long on ES, and then that Trump tweet knocked them out. And it can be frustrating at times. You see, whereas you probably don't get that in the swing trading as well. And then in the orb, you might be catching that. That tweet, man. You literally might be catching it. But no, just on news in terms of scheduled news. No, not Trump's bathroom breaks. We don't have any news today in terms of the high impact. Well, I got that one from Zinc. I can't claim that one. That's Zinc's one. But we don't have any high impact scheduled news events today. Personally, there might be some medium impact that Andre's looking at too. He looks at a few other things. We got consumer sentiment at 4, but literally, I
think it actually matters. By the way, consumer
sentiment.
You think
so? Okay, interesting.
I only say it because I see the move. I see the movements, and that's it. That's the only reason it matters to me. Okay. Because if you're gonna take a trade at 9:58, I would recommend
waiting.
Don't.
The reason I don't personally have it up on my stream is because I've used Forex Factory for literally the 9 years that I've been trading. It's been the only one that I've looked at for scheduled like news events. Okay, so like obviously everyone also changed. It also changes. Remember when NFP used to be like this massive day and it used to move the markets?
Dude, I know.
Now it's not really a thing, bro. Like NFP, yes, it might be a bit choppy, but it doesn't really like. I remember when I used to trade, Nasdaq would move like, in back in the day, would move like 1.5% just on an NFP announcement. Doesn't really do that as much anymore. So, no scheduled news events. We do have ES coming lower here. We now 10 minutes into the open, so opening range hasn't set yet. NQ is trading back off its highs as well, so trading a bit, not really doing too much. We have a 100 point range at the moment, which is pretty small considering yesterday's opening range of 200 points.
Yeah.
So it's literally a half.
The gap has been filled as well on NQ.
I'm going to pull up my screen one sec.
Well. Yeah. So someone said, I'll be gone guiding elk hunters for 3 months. I'm highly considering some algos for that time. Yeah. I mean, then you literally can go about your life, do your thing, especially for those that work full time or do other activities throughout their day. The algos are fantastic for that. And yeah, just don't, my advice to that is don't mess around with the algos until maybe at least the end of the week. Don't manage a trade or micromanage or anything like that.
I'm going to pull something up here because I think it's very important when it comes to algos. Just one sec.
Yep.
All right. So with the algos, we have, let me just do that. And I will do that. All right. So with the algos, we have an optimizer. And when you have the optimizer, pretty much what this does is for anyone who's ever used a TradingView strategy, you have to tinker with the settings. Every TradingView strategy has it'd be crazy to not have them, but has settings on how to customize the algo. So do you want to move your profit target? What type of stop loss do you want? Where do you want your entry? How do you want your entries to work? Whatever else. What the optimizer does, this is in the algo plan only, but it's in the left sidebar here. It pretty much runs through millions of combinations of settings to get you, it's not the perfect one, but very good settings that work well together. And then you can pick different backtest periods. So pretty much, I'm going to scroll down here. If you look at ES, this is in the last 6 months. Can you guys see this okay? Should I make it bigger?
Yeah, I can see it.
Yeah, okay.
They should be able to.
All right, well, I'm going to make it bigger anyway. All right, so this is a specific one. This ranked #1 on the optimizer results. And you go to the report section, you can see using one ES mini, $34,000 of profit, 64% win rate, 2.5 profit factor, 88 trades. And I'm sure that a lot of people watching this would trade their equity curve for this equity curve. I think it's pretty fair to say.
Yeah.
But
especially if you don't have to push any buttons.
Yeah, right? Now, that's not the point that I'm going to make here, but yes, that is also a separate thing. But the one thing that people don't realize is this. There is a period here of over 1 month of drawdown.
Okay. Yeah.
When you see it like this, you're like, I would trade my equity curve easily, no doubt. Give me that one. I'll give you mine, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you willing to be in 1 month of drawdown? Because this is what actual trading looks like.
Yes.
Look at the losers there. Look at from the start of the drawdown period. It's loser, loser, winner, loser, 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 winner, loser, loser, winner. And then it hits a winning streak. Like Dan, for example, for you, what I've noticed, at least from your posts, is that the orb algo goes on a crazy winning streak. And then it probably just winner, loser, 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 win, and it just chops. And then there's another winning streak. That's exactly what happens here. Crazy winning streak, period of consolidation, crazy winning streak again. And that's the way that it works for me too. And in this period here, there's two very important things. If you blow your account here, there's no strategy that can outperform poor risk management. Period, full stop. There's no arguing that. You can have the holy grail, and if you risk 80% of your account, it doesn't matter. You're going to blow the account no matter what. Now, the other piece is, psychologically, it's very difficult to think, does the strategy work anymore when you're in 1 month of drawdown, right? Everyone's going to question it. I do the same thing. Everyone's going to question maybe this isn't working anymore. But in reality, every single person on the planet will have red days, red weeks, and red months. Actually, even red quarters as well.
Yeah.
So when you see something like this and you're like, I would easily trade my equity curve for this one, and then you go down and just look at the way that the drawdown works, that's from June 4th to July 9th. You're in drawdown of just a consolidation before you go on a really nice run and continue higher. So I just want to, at least as a reframe for and this really doesn't have anything to do with algo specifically, it's with trading specifically, of like, this is what real strategies actually look like. Nothing is green days across the board.
I think that's actually a very good point, Andre. So I got two things to speak on that. First, one I'll bring up that with Dan now too. But I think that's very, very true. I think for me, coming from a sporting background, I'm quite tough on myself. Like if I've had like a pretty crappy week and I'm like maybe poor on the executions and whatever, and I was like, geez, dude, that was such an easy long, and I wasn't in it, or I took the short and then I got stopped out and wasn't able to capitalize. I think what you forget is that you're not going to be on it all the time, just like an algo as well. Like you think you can't have just winning week after winning week after winning week. And I think that's also why trading can be so addictive too, is because you have to always be trying to be the best version of yourself. But even the algos are going to take drawdown streaks. So to go there to Dan as well, and I think Dan, correct me if I'm wrong, but you're probably one of like maybe 6 people I follow the trading content. I'm new to everyone else. But I saw that you did lose some accounts at the start of this week. And that happens with trading too. It's a bit of a crappy one. Obviously, it's like a kick in the nuts, but you're like, oh man, like dude, like it's a bit shit. But that's going to happen with prop firm trading too, especially when you're copy trading like you as well,
Yeah, the lost accounts was a technical issue on my copier end, which I hold myself fully accountable for. I still hold myself accountable for it. But it's one of those where I think as prop traders, we're so used to, and this is where social media is so bad, we're so used to going on social media and seeing people post green day, green day, green day, full green months, one after another. And what you're not seeing is the back end where they're selecting accounts to show you, where they're not showing all the blown accounts in the background. And you're just seeing this green, 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 green. And you're thinking, I need that to be a good trader. And unless I have that, I am still a long way to go. And I just think that prop trading is going to completely distort. And I'm guilty of it to some extent. I took a red month in July, and it was my first red month of the year, and I was really harsh on myself. And actually, now I've taken even more time to reflect on it. It's like, well, I'm not doing too bad actually.
You're doing great.
First red month of the year, it's actually pretty good. But I was really harsh on myself because I think I'm in this prop mindset of July's not green. Why is it not green like every other single month in the year? Yeah. And I just think, prop trading, it does distort real trading reality, doesn't it? For sure.
No, for sure.
I mean, I'm
even personal trading, Andre, you're not reaching new equity highs if you're trading a personal account every single trading day.
No, of course not. That's insane.
Yeah. You got to get used to losing. But just
also look at the comment from NQ. Just can you pull that up while I post it?
Previous days high on NQ. Nice. Yeah, that's a nice long. I did mention on my pre-market prep stream just buying the dips, but it's a nice entry. In at like 220, back up to 270. Nice.
I like it. Off the VWAPs as well.
Off daily VWAP.
Off the VWAPs, off the gap fill to the previous day high. Data, right side of VWAPs. Bish, bash, bosh.
Yeah, taking out previous day's highs as well.
Yeah, decent.
I want to show you guys something. You're going to be... hold on.
Give me a sec.
One sec. All right. God, this company has so many ads. All right, whose screen is up here? I'm going to pull up my screen. All right. What this is, and I've spoken about this before, but every hedge fund has to publish a 13F filing. 13F filing shows what their positions are, how many shares they own, of what companies, and what the change is when they file it. So pretty much you can determine what their performance is if you know what all their positions are, what their cost is, what their average price is, and everything else, right? Ray Dalio, I'm assuming most of you or all of you know who Ray Dalio is. Bridgewater Associates, the largest hedge fund on the planet. If you look at his filing, this is not an opinion, this is a filing, down 6% in the first quarter, not the first month, not the first week. In Q1, down 6.5%. Renaissance Technologies, Jim Simons, the best hedge fund in the world in Q1. Now he's up in Q2. Q1, he was down like 8%. Pershing Square, Bill Ackman's hedge fund, down 9% in Q1. Two Sigma, another incredible performing hedge fund, down 9% in the first quarter. So think about, if you're comparing yourself to people on Twitter, I want you to just go on Google and just type in the name of the hedge fund, or then if you just search most popular hedge funds in the world, and you take their name and you just go to Google and type in 13F, this company is the one that publishes the actual performance. So like they calculated whatever, it's way easier to use this company, Hedge Follow. I don't know, I have no association with them, but you can see how the actual hedge funds are performing. So if you're like, oh, I'm down 5% or I blew an account or whatever, keep in mind that you are not alone. The only one that I've seen, this is updated, so this is Q2, so we might see a little bit of difference in Q2, but Q1, he was down like 5%. Or not he's not part of the firm anymore, but Renaissance Technologies was down 5%.
So pronouns them.
So yeah, I just wanted to show you guys this because this is not Twitter, this is real.
So hold on, can you answer this question for me then, seriously?
Sure.
They can't pay $76 to reset their accounts then, no? Is that what you're saying? Yeah, is that what you're saying?
That is correct. That is correct.
That's crazy.
All right.
Yeah. Exactly. That's right. So, yeah, it's interesting to see this and then compare it to what you see on Twitter, because these guys are managing. I mean, this is. I'm pretty sure Bridgewater does way more than 22 billion. But these guys are down 6, 7%, 8%, 9%, managing billions of dollars.
With huge resources, right?
Yeah,
the best traders, huge resources, more than you have in your mum's basement. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like talking to other people on Twitter. 100%. You know, it's kind of like it's
100%.
Yeah. We heard about the fast connections on, when was that? Wednesday.
What is that?
Remember when they paid like $10 million to get the faster fiber cable through the river?
Oh, from Flash Boys. Yeah. So Dan,
Flash Boys. Yes.
Flash Boys is. Hold on one sec. I'm gonna pull it up.
Yeah, they paid like it would cost them more money if they didn't get it done.
Yeah.
Oh, Zid caught that trade as well. The VWAP to previous day high. Good job. Yeah, I like that trade. Gap filled, VWAP bounced to previous day high.
I must say, I'm not too interested in anything right now. NQ is still inside its opening range.
Yeah.
I'm going to be like that.
Really small range.
Yeah, really small range.
Yeah. It has taken the high side of the opening range.
Everything is pretty break even, honestly, besides Broadcom. Like everything is right where it opened practically.
Oh, look at ES. It's like a barcode in the first. Look at that.
Oh, yeah. That's gross.
Tesla is Tesla's ripping for me. 327. Playing that gap fill. It's going back up to my take profit at 370. There we go. Jeez, I've been in this thing for 10 days, bro. It's finally started to show a bit of life.
Nah. Fair value gaps. What's that number? 147,650% returns.
Dude, jeez.
Let me just pull up my screen. I'll show you guys this. I say, can you look at the Flash Boys book? Tell me about when they rented the drill to dig under the river. Spread Networks, building ultra-fast fiber optic line from Chicago to New Jersey. There was a river in Pennsylvania. Cost $2 million to rent the drill. The crazy part is
the drill.
why they were willing to consider spending the $2 million on the drill. Taking a longer route would add a tiny amount of latency in the business. Even microseconds mattered. So they rented this drill So they can go under this river instead of having to go around it, and they spent $2 million to rent the drill, which was in Brazil at the time, so they have to fly it to wherever, this Pennsylvania, just so they can get that literally microseconds of additional speed. So
I'm gonna get them fiber through my dam, through the dam outside,
yeah, dude, you need better Wi-Fi, bro.
Yeah, no, my Wi-Fi's tops now, boss. Tops.
Yeah, it wasn't for a little bit, but it's back.
Yeah, yeah, it's grafting now.
Same here. Mine's good these days as well. I think mine must be connected to yours then, James. South African and UAE internet seems to be on the same wavelength.
Yeah, it's sometimes it just acts up, bro. I'm like, what the hell's happening? I wish that like Americans and like guys in first world understood what it's like, bro. I was literally driving the other day, and I was like, dude, if Austin if the Americans just saw this guy driving like this, he would like lose his mind.
Dude, I don't think you've driven in Miami.
No, I have. I haven't personally driven, but I have seen the driving there also. But they just
driving Miami is pretty, it's pretty hectic.
But a very tight range on ES right now. Going into the weekend, again, like if you aren't going to find, I think Dan, just to go on to this point again, like Dan knows what his best setups look like. If you can just be a bit more patient and wait for those, there's always like those 1 or 2 plays a week where you're like, oh man, that was like such an easy play, but you got caught up chasing everything else.
Yeah.
So Dan, you had a nice trade on NQ on stream here last week. Remember, I told you to hold and the magnet.
Yeah. I was so ready to click that button, but it was the to close it, but it was the magnet, wasn't it, that we put on? The greatest indicator of all time on TradingView. Yeah, you know the indicator. It's just a simple little magnet emoji. Did the trick.
Yeah. And a bit of the Welshman listening to the South African helped a little bit too.
Well, you were telling me, weren't you? You were saying hold it. You were telling me all the way through it. So yeah. Fair play.
No, it looked really good. Like it, especially like I would have gone. Obviously, for me, I would have maybe with the CFDs gone stop loss at low of day. But I personally, from that, we bounced so aggressively. That was actually a really, really nice trade. While we may be waiting for maybe price to develop here, because it's not really nothing too much happening besides Tesla ripping. Everything's up like 0.2%, and then you have Tesla up 2.8%. Maybe you want to recap that trade on stream here, Dan. I think it'll be good for the guys to
Dan, you can pull up your screen. We do, by the way, guys, reminder, data in 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Data in 2 minutes. Reminder that data is in 2 minutes. So if you're going to take a trade right now, I would not recommend it. Just wait until after the data comes out, and then you can take the trade. But Dan,
just bear me a second. I was bigging up my internet a second ago, and then it's all gone a bit wobbly here. Hold on a second.
They were listening.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Was it? It was Friday the 7th, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I think it was
last week.
Friday.
Yes.
That was last Friday, wasn't it?
Friday the 7th. Yes. Well, Friday the 7th of August. Yeah.
Let me just go. Right. Okay. So this was a trade from last Friday. So basically, with this trade, I wasn't interested in any IB25 trades because this was what, 10 past 10. So around about 10, 15 minutes before I'm looking to enter. And with this green VWAP, which is a daily VWAP here, I don't like really trading into that. But I wanted to see what price would actually do. So I waited for another sort of few minutes. That candle there was a big one for me because it just showed me that buyers want to keep in control in terms of the daily VWAP. We're getting a strong break for the New York VWAP, and that's where I was then looking for the IB75 entry here.
Yep.
And what I like to see usually is I usually don't enter on the first touch of it, because what I find sometimes when it hits the IB75 is it'll touch it and then it'll just come back lower. And it actually did come out low. I mean, I entered on this second touch here, and then we had to sit in drawdown. James was just telling me all the way through, it's okay, Dan, it's okay, it's good, it's fine. And probably, knowing James liked it because of the VWAP. We were above the daily VWAP for quite a while here. Buyers were in control in terms of the daily VWAP. So I was happy to sit through this. And then we put the magnet on around about here, James, didn't we? I think the magnet was about here.
Yes,
put it on.
The
you can see,
magnet
look at it. Yeah, I mean, look at it. The magnet's doing its bit, but the fact we didn't close below the daily VWAP was really important for me. But with my stop loss just here, I would have closed it here. I probably would have closed it here if I was sized in even more into the trade, but I wasn't sized too heavy in this trade, which allowed me just to sit for it just a little bit longer. And then eventually we got out at the IB high. But the key thing was where we actually closed, because we closed at 10:30 here. And that's between the IB 75 and the IB 100. Yeah. And if we go to edgeful and look at what happens when we close between the IB 75 to IB 100, you can see the... Oops,
look at those templates.
Yeah, yeah.
I like those templates.
Give it a sec. Yeah, I love it set up like this. It's just not loading.
Yeah, I actually only realized see Tech Bruce. I actually only realized you can save like the customizable ones as templates as well recently.
Yeah, you can also have it.
Yeah, so basically, just for me, where price closes in the IB, that's been super important for me. That's like that IB end closing zone stat on edgeful has forced me to hold on a little bit longer when I'm taking, because I used to enter at like 10:15, 10:20, something like that, front run it by that much. But these days, I'm trying not to front run it quite as much anymore because I want to see where it actually closes in the range. But it was a nice little trade last Friday.
Wow, I cannot believe this chop.
No, dude, this is ugly. I'll probably, if I don't find anything before we get off stream, I probably won't trade today. Yeah. Well, actually, I won't trade today. I'm gonna go enjoy the day with the family afterwards. This is pretty ugly. Again, like Jan, I think again, like there's always every single week you get like 5. Out of the 5 trading days, you get like 2 trading days or 2 setups. So you're like, man, that was really, really a nice, easy play, but you got suckered into trading the other crap earlier, in other days,
Yep. And it's one of those. If I just go to this month and look at this month's trading, you can just see it here on this calendar.
Yeah.
Had to wait. Finally got some good setups, and then this week, apart from a break-even scratch trade there,
scratch trade,
You know what I mean? There's just been nothing all week. It's just been nothing.
I actually have. Those things also sometimes come up on my template. If I take a swing trade, but I enter on the Monday, but I only close on like the Thursday, it will show the blue on Monday because obviously I didn't close it out then.
Yeah. But for me, it's just like, you know what? It's one of those, I have to be very honest. In July, I think because it was my first month of being full-time trader, it was like, I'm full-time, time to trade. Do you know what I mean? I think I was just a bit eager to get into trades and taking trades that weren't quite my optimal A+ setups. And then that was my losing month. And it was one of those where I took more trades than ever, copy trading way too many accounts and taking too many trades, just too much of everything.
And then you're getting too much pressure because now you're full-time trading and also you copy trading to a bunch of accounts.
Yeah, I think so. So I think for me, it was just a case of I have been very, very determined this month I just said to myself, forget about P&L for this month. Forget about money or anything like that. Just be disciplined. Take those A+ setups, take every setup and look back at it afterwards and go, I would take that again and again and again and again. And there were too many trades in July where I looked at the trade afterwards and go, you know what? I probably wouldn't have taken that on another day. So, yeah. We'll see, but it's choppy here at the moment. It is weird though, 110-point range. Cannot remember the last time we had that. I mean, it was wild on the Friday stream, not last Friday, but the Friday before that I did it on my own. After, what was it? After half an hour, we were down like 600 points. I was like, what on earth is going on this stream? Like 600 points in 45 minutes, half an hour. It was bonkers. Was it? I think it was, wasn't it? If I just go back to that day, when was it? Friday. Yeah, Friday. Yeah, that was it. It was Friday the 31st of July. Yeah, this one here. That was a bonkers day. Let's have a look at the range.
That was the day that I was off that day. I was at the wedding.
Yes. Yeah. And I did it on my own, and I couldn't believe what I was seeing. me and the chat, we were like, what on earth? Yeah, that was it. Look at that. 641 points in
10 minutes.
Yeah.
That is crazy,
yeah, it was crazy. But that's where,
but
you know what,
remember, if I'm not
after a
mistaken,
drop like
it did rip the day before as well, if I'm not mistaken. It was from FOMC, yes.
Yeah, it did. That is it. It doesn't look like a rip compared to that one, but it was a rip, wasn't it? But this is one of those days where after a drop like that on a Friday, I remember just telling the chat at the time, just get off the desk. If you're looking for an IB break, just forget about it, because it's probably just going to chop in this range. And look at that. That would have been miserable if you took an IB 25 short there, or even an IB 50 short. You'd have just been stuck in chop for the whole Friday. I mean, that's miserable. You just talked about, getting off the desk on Friday and going spending time with your family. There's the other side of trading, where you sit and chop for 4 hours. Miserable there.
Yeah, and NQ picking up a lot of steam now.
Yeah.
I'm just looking at the chat. Anyone in the chat have any trades? I mean, could have maybe scalped the joys of parenthood. I've just hearing a massive crowd outside. He's fallen off the trampoline. Oh my goodness. It's moving off of that New York session view, back up to opening range high on NQ, but still very much within the range.
Yeah, it's still chopped for me though at the moment. I would want it, if I'm going to entertain a trade today, I would want it to see something like this. Move quite a bit higher, come back, then perhaps catch an IB25 trade. Something like that. Maybe even a little bit higher.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't be surprised if we end up just doing this around the daily VWAP and the New York VWAP.
Yeah.
I would not be surprised.
And also back up at those previous pre-market highs as well.
Yeah. I mean, it's one of those where it's not something I want to say on live stream, Hey guys, so for the next half an hour, it's going to chop sideways.
Sure.
But it may do so.
You know what? Speaking of the opposite of that, I feel like today is a prime day for a crazy tweet.
Yes, then the market's skyrocketing down, flipping 500 points.
Somewhere.
I agree with you, because there's no real scheduled news. It's kind of been chopping after that pump up yesterday, and it really hasn't done much all week.
I feel like it would not be a crazy day to have a pretty wild tweet.
When was the Trump candle this week? What day was that?
Oh, I will happily tell
Wednesday.
you, because I could spot it.
Was it Wednesday, was it?
Wednesday. There was two, I think, Wednesday and Monday, if I'm not mistaken.
Was it this one? Was it this one?
No.
Yeah, no.
Nope.
There was one on Wednesday. There was one
I'll
on
spot
EXP.
I'll spot that chart for a long time. If you go to
is it because it looks bigger on ES? I think I remember saying that it was like it looked bigger on ES, the candle. Let me just get up.
It was Monday, August 10th.
That was that one.
Yeah, there.
That one there.
Yeah, look at there you go.
Yes.
That's
that
it.
one.
It wasn't even that one.
No, that's not the crazy one. The crazy one was Monday.
No. The 10th of July. I can name that date.
The 10th of August also.
10th of August.
Wait, go to the 10th of August.
Yeah, no, there was on Monday, the 10th of August, I remember, because Andre was hitting my DMs the rest of the day saying, I'm so frustrated. Yeah.
That was the most, like if you go to before, like that first real bounce off of VWAP towards the IB high the second time, like right where your cursor, that candle, that candle, that push up to near the IB high before that move. There you go. There was so. I mean, if you remove all the other candles to the right, you're like, oh, this is so bullish. Green opening candle, IB low forms first, break of the IB high, holding the VWAPs, reclaiming towards the IB high. There, you're like, oh, this is unreal. This is perfect.
Yeah.
On that day, when you sell options, this is a day where I was like, oh, this is perfect. A+. Every criteria that I need is bullish. I'm selling the options below the IB low. And I swear, like the 15-minute, I get on a call, and like the 15-minute window that I needed to be looking at the chart is I open my chart back up and I'm looking at it at the low of day. And I'm like, I can't believe it. Like my options are down. Like the way that selling options works, not that everyone in here cares, because I know everyone is mostly a futures trader, but it has an incredibly high win rate, but a horrendous risk to reward. So let's say, for easy numbers, for every time that you, like your maximum win is ballpark for simple numbers is $50. That's the most that you can make per contract. And your maximum loss per contract is $450. So the risk to reward is extremely skewed, but you win so often. The key is you cannot let your losers hit the max loss. That is the key. If you have poor risk management with option selling, you should not sell options, period, full stop. So let's just use those numbers, for example, the ones that I gave. I have a maximum win of theoretically $50, and I open my screen to being down, call it $300, which wipes out 6 winning days.
Jeez.
So now I'm like, this is so unfortunate. And I'm like, what happened? I messaged James and I was like, yo, what happened?
Yeah. I knew Andre was frustrated. He was messaging me. He was like, dude, what the hell?
Yeah. So with options like that, I would have never let it get to that point. But the also very annoying piece about options is that you can't set a profit target and a stop loss. Like you have to set one order because you need to close 2 different positions at the same time. And you can't set a market order. You have to set a limit order. And when you set the limit order, most of the brokers don't allow you to set a bracket order, which is extremely annoying. So yeah, it's just like it's not the best if you can't, like, for that type of thing, where if there's a fast move against you, just forget it. Like your day is destroyed. So
yeah,
look at
it's
the back down with that hard there, Dan, as well.
Yeah, I mean, that's like, I think someone said ES is a little bit stronger. I mean, a little bit maybe.
Yeah.
Well, NQ took the previous day's high. ES hasn't even taken it.
Yeah.
Jay, I still got 2 more years to my 30s. I'm not 36. I'm 28. I'm not that old. I like to keep myself young.
It's not quite Dan Cook, Uncle age yet.
I'm gonna start calling you Uncle Dan.
Uncle Dan, yeah. Someone said it in the chat, I think, a few weeks back, and it'll stick, I'm sure.
I don't know if you realize this, Andre, but like when in South Africa, like when you're young, you get taught everyone's like your uncle and auntie. Like if I like, hey, we say to Beckham, this is Uncle Andre, or like it's just a respect
I like that.
thing, Yeah,
I think it's nice.
I remember the one time I was must have been about 12. I called my mom's friend by her first name. I got the hiding of my life, bro.
That's hilarious. Today might be a good day to sell options. I'm not gonna lie.
What, for longs, but like stop at low of day? Yeah.
Yeah, even lower than low of day.
Why do you say sell options when you're buying? Explain that.
No, I'm selling.
Oh, you're selling. Okay.
So the way that it works is imagine it's like okay, so we all have these phones, right?
Yes.
You know that next year, this phone is going to be worth less than it is right now because there's going to be a new iPhone that comes out.
Sure.
Right? So this thing has peak value the day it comes out, and every month that goes by, it becomes less and less valuable because you are closer to the next iPhone. Right? Does that make sense?
Yes, I'm with you. Yep.
The same thing with options. All options have an expiration. If you consider the next iPhone the expiration of this iPhone, the closer that we get to the next iPhone, the less valuable this one becomes, and eventually, theoretically, it goes to 0. So the expiration is it's either worth something or not. Most options, when they expire, are worth nothing. So instead of buying the options and trying to play that, like, not necessarily the lottery ticket, because I don't really believe it that way, you can sell the lottery tickets and say, I'll collect a small amount over time, and I will sell them knowing that the expiration, the time decay, is what is working in my favor as a seller. So you buy the iPhone, let's just say for $2,000, and you know that 6 months from now it's going to be worth $1,000, and you can buy it back for $1,000 and close your position, pretty much. So the same thing works with options. When you're selling options, you collect money. Now you have an open position where you need to close it out, or you can let it expire worthless. I never let it expire worthless, so I always buy it back for less. But the reason I say sell options is because the first interaction or the first trade is me collecting money as a seller. So I sell it, I collect money, and now I have an open position, which I'm hoping expires worthless, and then I don't have to buy it back ever because it expires and that's it. Or I can buy it back and realize the gain and not have to wait until next year's iPhone comes out, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yes, that is correct. Keeping the West wild.
So if I've got this correct, if an option is going sideways and you're in it, you're losing because it's expiring, right?
In my position, I'm okay with chop. I prefer so let me just pull up my screen. No, if you're buying them, yes, you do not want it to go sideways at all, because the chop is so everything has a theta decay, which is the expiration. Theta is like the Greek for time value. So pretty much, let's say that I'm bullish today. I think that this is SPX. Price is going to take the prior day high, this green line. I'll just make it yellow. Price is going to take this high here. If I say, you know what, I'm going to sell the options below the midpoint of yesterday, all I need to do is price cannot come and touch this yellow box. If price touches this yellow box, I'm losing money. The closer price gets to this yellow box, I go and draw down if I sell right now. If price does this for the rest of the day, as time goes on, I will be more and more in profit, even though it's trading at the same exact price than it was 2 hours ago. Because I'm selling the 0-day expiration, so they expire at the end of today. So the theta decay is very violent because you need it to go in your favor very quickly. So instead of me being on the opposite side of that, I'm like, you know what, let it chop. As the day goes on, the value becomes less and less because the next iPhone's coming out at 4 p.m. at the close of New York session. So if this happens and it's trading at the exact same price at right now, let's just say the option is worth $250. At 4 p.m., it'll be worth $5. Or at what I call it $350, it'll be worth $5. If it's trading at the same price, it'll be worth nothing. So what happens is I could sell it now for $250, and then at 3 p.m. I can buy it back for $5, and I would make the $245.
Okay.
Now, if price does this, if price goes straight up, again away from this area, that will benefit me even more. It would decay even faster. So it would probably, if price were to break previous day's high and touch this area here, it would probably be worth like $20 within the next hour or so. If price does this, that's when I'm in trouble. Because what happens is, as it goes closer and closer to the strike that I sell, or the price that I'm selling at, meaning I don't think price is going to get to this yellow box. The yellow box is very important. So if you go up here, instead of being worth $250, they might be worth $1,000 when you sell them. If you go down here, instead of being $250, it might be worth $50. So because obviously it's much less likely for price to come all the way down. So obviously you're not going to get as much money to sell those.
Yeah.
So this is very important. But the closer that price gets to your yellow box, the faster the speed at which you go in drawdown accelerates as price goes against you. So in the beginning, you might be down, as it goes from here to here, you might be down $10. But when it goes from here to here, the same move, you're now down $15. And then another same move down, you're now down 25, like you're down $35. And then if you go from here to here, you're now down $85. So the more that it goes against you, the faster a drawdown you get into. For other
That's where
reasons.
Trump candles can really screw you.
That's why when you're break even and it does this in 1 second, you're down 6 trades worth, because the more that it goes against you, you accelerate the drawdown even more. It's very, like you don't, best case scenario, you never want to sell options on news days, earnings days, CPI days, ideally no tweet days, but nobody could predict that. That Monday the 10th was a perfect day, in my opinion, minus the tweet. So this is a perfect day. The low forms first. We have break of previous day's high. That's also bullish. The break of the of the IB high, bullish. We have the pullback to the IB 25, the pullback to the IB 50, not unreasonable. And now you're sitting here. Okay, price is reclaimed. Didn't touch the 75. Reclaimed up here. We're going towards the IB high again. This is SPX or ES. And then you get this pullback down, and you get which I was actually totally fine with this too, because if price does this for the rest of the day, I become more and more in profit as the day goes on because of the expiration. But now, when this happens, like I said, you go and draw down at an accelerated rate. So from here to here, you might lose $10. From here to here, you're going to lose an additional 15. From here to here, you're going to lose an additional 40. From here to here, you're going to lose an additional 100. So that's why risk management is very important. Because, like I said, one day can wipe out 6 of your winners, but your win rate is so high because you have so much working in your favor. The only thing that you have to do is be good with your risk.
So if you were getting in at, say, on that day, say the IB 50, your strike, what's it? Strike rate, strike point. Sorry, I'm an idiot with options.
No. Yeah, I mean, options have a lot of terms.
Yeah, so your yellow box there. Let's keep it simpleton. Your yellow box would be below the IB low.
Correct, because I'm looking for the single break stat. I'm looking to take advantage of the way that I do it is. Pretty much the way that it works is you have to do it in increments of 5. So here I sold the 77.45 to the 77.40, $5. And the reason the max loss is, the max risk is $500. So if you sell the options for 50, you're $450 is a risk. If you sell the options for 100, $400 is a risk. It's always the opposite of whatever you collect, because I'm taking a $5. Whatever. I mean, let's just keep it simple for a second. I sold these options down here because I was like, all right, the IB double break stat is in my favor. The break of the IB high, I'm good. The green opening candle, I'm good. This and this and this, I'm good. Like all of the things. Also, the IB by close as an option seller is a very great report, because if I go to the IB and I go to the by close, and I filter for days that break to the IB high on ES or SPY, almost 70% of them close above the IB high as well. So not only was there a green opening candle, and the IB low forms first, and the IB high breaks, and a break of the previous high, almost 70% of the time, price closes on the day here, which is even more reason for a move down not to happen. So now at 4 p.m., 70% of the time, price will close above this green line. Perfect. A plus day. But when you open your screen and there's a candle that completely destroys your position and just wipes out every single stat, that's part of trading. Like that, it is what it is. Like that's these markets that we're in right now. And I mean, obviously, I don't know what would have happened, but yeah, I mean, this was just this was an A+ trade that didn't work, in my opinion. Do you have stop losses on options? You don't necessarily have a stop loss. You just have to close. So the way that it works is you sell one and you buy the other. You just have to do the opposite for both. Like your broker will do that. Like you do it on Robinhood, or you do it on Tasty Trade, you do it on Thinkorswim. Like your broker automatically does it. Like you don't like individually sell one versus the other, but it's very simple to do it. Like even if you do it on Robinhood, it's very easy. But yeah, I definitely have stop losses. Usually I used to use VWAP actually, which is interesting because you guys like VWAP.
Yeah.
But I used to use VWAP with this. And what I used to do is New York Open, or I'll actually just put it on here. So
BQ's now taken the opening range low. Sorry, just watching the background.
Yeah, that's fine. So pretty much the IB, if price pulls back to the IB 75 after having that break, I'm looking to get out, because again, I'm willing to take a smaller loss here. Like I was saying, that your loss at this point is different than your loss here and your loss here and your loss here. So I will close early, even though price could do this. I don't want to risk this happening, because like I said, risk management is very important here. So even if this could happen, I would rather take a small loss and stack those winners consistently than hope that price is going to reverse in my favor.
But what do you do with a day like that where the Trump candle happened in like seconds?
I closed here. It was
okay. So you literally just quickly.
I immediately closed it, and I closed it on this. I had missed this. I didn't see this candle. I opened it here on this bounce. So I opened it here, right at this point, right over here. And I was like, if this rejects the IB low and continues down, like I'm going to wipe out like 2 weeks of winners. So I'm not doing it. So I closed here. And then of course you close. And what's interesting is that even at this point, I would have been back to break even, because I'm checking the options prices now. Even at this point, I'm back to break even, because what's interesting about options is that if the momentum down doesn't carry, the pullback benefits me much more. Like if I'm break even here and it makes a move down and I'm in drawdown and I'm back to where it was when I was break even right over here, I would actually be in profit here, even though the price is the same. It's that there was no continuation and the premiums are getting crushed even harder because it made the move, but it couldn't continue. So now that it's back, I'm now in profit. So now at this point, even though we're way lower than when I had entered, I would have been like practically break even down here, but I closed down here because I was like, I can't risk a continuation to the downside. I didn't know what the headline was. I tried to check what the headline was, if it was something like kind of like BS or if it was real. I couldn't, I didn't want to risk it. So
it's one of those where greed could be a bigger problem in options, right? In a situation like that, where you know you've survived, it's come back up, you're in break even, profit even, you're thinking, that's great, I'm just gonna hold, and then it just continues going lower against you, and then you start losing more and more and more. I can see that being that's probably why for newbie traders, options is an absolute no-no, right?
Probably 100%. It's 100%. It's also, there are so many terms to learn. There are so many things that you need to figure out in order to understand how they work. But like there are so many Greeks. Like the Greeks are how options work. There's the time decay. There's the delta. There's so many things that honestly, like I don't even look at. Like I think there's like 7 Greeks total. Like these are the terms that drive options prices. Like there's the Black-Scholes. There's like this whole thing. But I'm not. Are you taking a trade, James?
I took one in the background. Yeah, just on one account. Just trying to try and short.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I'm being very small. $500 on one on another account. Yeah, just opening range break to the downside. That's it.
And it's always credit spreads, call spreads and put spreads always. I just see a comment here. Never naked. Never.
What does that mean?
You sell like you don't cap the risk. So when you sell options, like you buy one and you sell the other to create a maximum risk, a maximum downside. But pretty much if you don't do one or the other, like if I just sell the puts and price goes down, like I have a virtually I mean, let's use the calls as an example. When you sell calls, you're bearish. And if you just sell the calls and price skyrockets, you have a virtually unlimited loss. So you don't want that.
Yeah.
So what happens is you buy one and you sell the other to cap your loss, because you take it's like you're taking insurance on your position.
Yes.
So it's take a short. It's here. A good example is, let's just say James is short 2 micros on NQ. Let's say he buys 1 micro.
Yeah.
So if instead of, like, he has 2 separate positions, he's short 2, like theoretically, he's short 2 and he buys another one. Okay, your risk is a little bit decreased and you can manage the, it's I mean, it's not a good example actually, because it doesn't work that way, but like, yeah, I mean, it's a little bit more complicated, but it's a way to cap your loss. That's the answer. You're buying insurance pretty much. And it's baked in, like that's how you do it. Like it's like the foundation of like how it works.
We've just had the RB set in as well, so the high will be formed first. So I'm in that short. My entry price on that short is 170. So I'm up 30 points or so, 20 points or so now.
It's as he's talking. It's bouncing.
Climbing up. Yeah.
Here, I mean.
Well, now it's back to 30 points.
On what? On NQ?
NQ, yeah, NQ.
NQ, yeah. It's just
So
taking the IB low on NQ.
Yeah, well, I just took the opening range breakout. Yeah. Just seeing if we can get maybe like a move back down to like 124 would be my take profit price.
It may do so, but because it's taking the IB low, it may just come back up a little bit first, maybe, and then continue lower, maybe.
Yeah. So
potentially.
Someone says small, very small on full port Friday. We do have the look at the screen. It's also pretty mixed after the first hour as well.
Italian
flag.
I
want to show you guys something. Dan, I think you'll think this is pretty important. First of all, for James,
yes,
this is the IB by retracement report.
Yep.
Now you took the break to the downside of the IB here, broke the low.
Yep.
If you look at the days that break the downside, assuming that today's not going to be a double break day, 65% of the time in the last 6 months on, this is ES, let me go to NQ.
Yeah.
73% of the time, price has pulled back to touch the IB 25. So that doesn't mean that it can't continue for more down.
I think my entries at the RB 25 though, essentially because I took it at the opening range breakout. Yeah.
So just in general, for anyone who's looking to get short right now, just be mindful that at some point today, in the last 6 months, this is, I'm about to actually explain that. Summer Z, I'm going to explain that literally right now. Just so you know, the pullback into the IB is actually very likely to happen after the break. All right. So Dan, we have a new report. And it's called...
The suspense is killing me.
All right.
Let's hear it.
So the IB, now the name is kind of bad, but we're combining 2 different concepts. So it's pretty important to, and I'm going to make a video on this, by the way. I don't have the video yet. The video will be pretty in detail of how this works, but pretty much the trade that you take, and I'm going to try to find a decent example here just before I start, just so we can, let me try to find a decent example.
If you're trying to find a trade, I usually take your struggle amount. That's been all good so far.
Let me see. I know that there's a really clean, like a really, really good example somewhere. And
it's a clean one like last Thursday, I think. Last Thursday.
Yeah, the reason okay, here's a pretty good example. Never mind.
Go to, I think the last one I remember that was clean, Thursday the...
This one's okay. Thursday
the 6th of August.
Is that a bullish setup?
Dan, I think my trade's going to be a winner.
Yes, that's a bullish setup.
Perfect.
Dan, I think this trade's going to be a winner. Do you know why? You just put the magnet on.
Yes!
That's hilarious.
It works. It works.
All right. So what this report looks at is it's built around the IB ending zones. So we obviously have the IB ending zones. On this day, the low of the IB formed first, and it closed very obviously at within the 0 to 25 area. So when the low forms first, we're going to be in this bucket here. When the high forms first, we're going to be in this bucket over here. So on this day, we're going to focus right over here. What this report looks at is, we can see the IB close in the 0 to 25. How deep does price pull back before breaking out of the IB? So does it touch the 25? For every time it closes in here, we group it for the days that close within each of these areas. So all of the days that close within the 0 to 25 are together, and that's separate from the days that close from the 50 to the 75. So we have the group here of the 0 to 25 area, and what the report looks at is how far down does price pull back before it breaks out. So specifically, everything after the break is ignored. We're only looking from the end of the IB to the break, specifically the break in the correct direction. We're ignoring the days that pull back for now. I need to think about how that works because all of the numbers will always be hit. So that's it's a little bit difficult to build a report around that. But if you see the IB ending zone down here as the x-axis, 0 to 25, we are now, this day is in this category right over here, 0 to 25%. The ending zone is in the 0 to 25% here. What this shows is that only 44% of the time are you going to get into the trade if you target your entry at the 25. So this does not add up, which you can see very obviously, it does not add up to 100% because some days close right near the high and break, and they never pull back to the IB 25. So what this shows is that if you put your entry at the IB 25, only 44% of all days that break in the correct direction are actually going to get there. So this is only filtering for the days that break in the correct direction. I appreciate Goldman Sachs, man. So this is only going to filter for the days in the correct direction, which means, and now I need to figure out how the customizations are going to work with this. So you can raise up your entry. So say, okay, what if I enter at the IB 10 instead? How would that work? But the kind of the difficult piece there is that if you put for whatever reason, I'll figure that part out later. But pretty much if you know that the correct direction breaks, call it 75% of the time or 80% or actually 90% of the time when you use the correct ending zone like the way you do, you probably want to get into that trade a little bit sooner than the IB 25 so you can actually get into the trade. Does that make sense?
It's one of those, it'd be interesting if that data was like the first half of the year, like January to June, for example, those 6 months, because those 6 months, it was consistently come back to the IB 25. Now during the summer months at the moment, that's it. That doesn't surprise me. 44%. I feel that 44% because I feel like there are a lot of days where I'm not getting my entry. So that's quite interesting with 100%. That. So I suppose the question now is with that, where do I go with that in the current market at the moment? Do you know what I mean?
The thing is, if you do this, right, and you're targeting, let me just, I'm going to clean up the drawings for a second. Like if you're going to do this, right, you got to be careful. Because now one loser is going to wipe out a lot of your winners. So that's, Your risk management is going to have to be, your stop loss positionings have to be a little bit different. But it's not even really like you want to put your stop at the 25, obviously, because it does get hit 44% of the time. So you'd have to risk a little bit more. But at a certain point, your like if it's at the IB 10, right? If it closes all the way near the high, it's probably not worth the trade.
No.
Because if it pulls back and you're looking for that break, like there's not that much meat on the bone left. So it's a little bit of a balancing act.
Yeah.
With the grayscale.
It's one of those where you could play those with a little bit smaller risk, maybe, on those sort of ones. That's the way if I was going to start doing that, do you know what I mean? I'd lower the risk massively on that to begin with.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Michelle,
it's one of those where it feels good until you have that trade where you don't enter on the IB25 and I'll go to the IB25. And do you know what I mean? Like, yeah, it's a tricky one.
Michelle, you can, I'm sorry, Michelle, the colors are taken from the other reports. I can see how they're pretty similar. Maybe we'll look into different colors, but just to go back, you can, and keeping the West Wild, you can absolutely target the extension. So you can change your risk to reward based on your entry. Honestly, I hate the way that this like by levels thing works. Like I need to change it so you can like toggle it on and off. Like it's so annoying to have to click this so many times. But yes, you can target the 0.1 or the 0 or the 0.15 or whatever, and then change your risk to reward if you're going to put your stop somewhere down here and target a move higher. Yeah, of course, Summer Z. But yeah, you can target other higher probability areas, like going to the by levels for a second and looking at the breakout days. Yes, the 0.1 is a great target to look for, obviously, on NQ.
Yeah.
So I will make a video on the report that I just covered.
If you just throw my screen on,
Darren does things, I'm going to do it. Go ahead. What's up?
Let me just throw my screen on. So I'm just playing around with it now in terms of like, so like here, for example, today, right? Didn't come to the IB25, took the IB low. So something like that. So I've used the IB indicator and I've turned on the extension downline to 0.1% because you showed there, didn't you? The stats were quite strong there.
So
that's a possible play, isn't it?
You want to use and I'm probably going to remove the extension one. You don't want to use that. You don't want to use the extension. You want to use the levels if you go down.
The levels. Okay.
Okay. So the difference between the two, the extension. So if you go to your indicator quickly.
Yep.
If you go down and you turn off, or actually just go down and turn on the minus 0.1. The red
This one?
Yep. And then on the right above the green ones up there, just click show levels.
Yep.
There you go. You're going to see that they're not in the same spot.
Yeah, I see. That makes sense.
So the reason they're not in the same spot is because the first report that one of the first reports that we built was the by performance report, the orb by performance report. And what that did was it measures the percentage move from the orb high or the orb low. What is the percentage move based on the price? So initially, we started with stocks. I mean, the same thing works with NQ. 1% of NQ is not 1% of the IB. So what you just did there, the extensions, which is very confusing, and I'm probably just going to remove it because like not that many people use the by performance anyway. But the extensions are a percentage of the price, not a percentage of the IB range.
Got it.
So let's just say you have a $100 stock and you make that number 5. That would be 5. It would be a $5 range from the high, or let's just say from the example of the high, it would be a $100 range from the high because that would be a 5% move. When you use the levels, that is based on the range of the IB, to be clear for everyone.
Yeah, makes sense. Yeah.
So I'll probably just remove it. And then I'm also, Darren, you were talking about how it's like 5 minutes to do it. I'm going to add a master toggle to turn on and off all the levels. And I think I'm just going to do show levels like always on, because I don't know why I wouldn't do that. And I'll just put show price as a toggle, because some people don't care about the price. But yeah, I need to fix that, because like honestly, I use it all the time and it's so annoying to have to click all of them on and off.
Interestingly, we have retraced to the IB25. I think you were saying before the stats were quite high that we were going to...
72% of the time. 72% of the time this happens. This pullback to the after the break, this happens. And in my mind, so Dan, the trade that you take is not necessarily the single break stat from the IB. It's the 97% no break stat.
Yeah.
So only 3% of the time, NQ is going to stay within the range. So you're looking for that break. You use the IB by rejection, you use the VWAPs, you use whatever else to capture the 97%, not the single break stat. Because after the first break, if you're done, who cares if it double breaks or not? You're looking for the no. You're taking advantage of the 3% no break stat.
Yeah.
Now that the IB has broken, today we have a... I'll just go here, but I'll explain it first. But now on NQ, we have the high forming first, which is bearish. We have the low broke, which is bearish. We have a red opening candle, which is bearish. We have the pullback into the IB, which is not bearish. But in this case, this is starting to build into a very good bearish setup, because it's very unlikely that price is going to go up to break the IB high, but it's also very unlikely that price is going to even touch the IB 75 now, which I'll pull it up in a second here. So on a single break day, and I'll pull up my screen for a second. On a single break day, only 12% of the time has price even pulled back to the IB 75. So this area, it is extremely unlikely that after the first break, price gets even here, let alone the IB50. So the IB50 is 50% of the time. It's a coin toss whether it's going to get there, but it's extremely unlikely that price gets here. So in terms of a short bias, entering somewhere in this area, now obviously we don't know how far back it's going to pull today, but entering somewhere in this area is not horrendous, because 50% of the time it's gotten here, 70% of the time it's gotten here. So this already happened. Let's see, maybe you don't expect to go all the way up, but you can expect, or even if you do enter at this point, I would leave a stop definitely at least above this 50.
Yeah.
But once it reclaims the 50, I would be like, you know what, my short bias is gone.
Done. Yeah.
Yeah. It's good as well. The 0.1 extension is still intact as well. That's another signal for you, isn't it, as well? It's still intact.
Yeah. And I mean, even for me now, thinking about the options, like I was saying before, I'll just walk you through like how I think about the options as well. In this case, let me turn this off. So now I have, what I don't like is that on SPX or ES, it hasn't taken the inside bar stat. I'm not a fan of that, which is okay.
The inside bar is there.
Yeah, it hasn't taken previous day's higher low. But we have a red opening candle. We have a break of the IB low. The IB high formed first. Those are all bearish, obviously. Now we have the pullback into the IB, which if you sell the options here, it's theoretically you're getting short at the low of day. You definitely don't want to do that. It's the same logic. We have the pullback. Now, if price gets to this area here, something like this, I would expect price to continue down. This doesn't necessarily matter, so I'll just leave that here. But if I know that only 12% of the time price has pulled back to this point, if price gets here or even close to it, my trade is invalid, where I'm saying I don't want to expect price to make a new high of day, which would be a double break of the IB, which would pretty much invalidate the red opening candle. It would invalidate so many very strong reports. So the short bias, in my opinion, is set today. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it's great data though, isn't it? If you lose that trade, and what do you say, 12%? It's going to go to IB75 and you lose that trade?
Yep.
You can walk away with that. You can stomach. I mean, I don't know. I can stomach that.
That's what happened to me the other day. That's what happened to me with the tweet.
Yeah.
This is the exact same setup, but the inverse, like the bullish side, which is actually stronger. The bullish side is actually strong. Like it is even stronger of a confluence. Like that was an A+ trade that I would take every single day. The thing is, when there's a catalyst, everything goes out the window. Like if something happens to Elon Musk, Tesla stock is going down no matter what the fundamentals say. Like that's it, period. It's the same concept with this. Like if there's a catalyst, doesn't matter what happens, doesn't matter what the fundamentals say, doesn't matter what the data says, there's a catalyst. So in this case, selling the options at the IB high, saying I do not believe that price will pull back and do something like this, and I can sit through chop all day, and I don't need price to go down, I just don't want price to go up. In these markets, for me, has been a lot better because I don't do well in this. I mean, I don't think anyone really does that well in this type of market. Well, like this type of price action specifically, but it just doesn't suit my style very well, like this type of price action. So instead of me having to pick my entry and my stop, and especially on NQ, like 1 minute candles are like 50 points now, which is terrible. But I can say, I just don't think price is going to get to this red box today. And there I'm like, all right, great. So getting the entry is obviously important. Like the price that you sell for is critical. So if I sell at this point for, let's just call it for easy numbers, $50 per contract, and then it pops up, and now the contracts are worth, let's just say $100, I would be down $50 a contract. But as price continues, as the day goes on, even if it sits up here for the rest of the day, they would go from 100 to 95 to 98 to 90 to 80. And as price just didn't make new highs, I would continue to make money, even though I entered down here and price is up here now. As long as directionally I'm correct that price does not go up, that's how the options work.
Yeah. I tell you what, with James there with his pen, with me listening like this,
I'm writing notes,
this, isn't it?
It is. It's interesting.
I've learned a lot though about options trade, because options trade, I don't know about you, James, but I know like very little about options trading, other than that the different terminology kind of scares me a little bit because there's so much.
Yeah. No, agreed. Yeah.
I mean, options are, it's a lot. It's a lot. But I started with options. Like futures wasn't a thing when it really wasn't. I mean, like futures existed.
I'm South
but
African. I'm not Greek.
Futures existed, but I never, like I didn't know anyone that traded futures. Like I didn't even know you could trade futures. I thought it was for like institutions, they like trade corn. Like I didn't know that it was like people traded futures.
Futures have only become quite big in the last 2 years when futures prop firms started to become a thing.
Yeah, I mean,
it's when Forex prop firms got banned in America. Do you remember that? That's when I remember all influencers switching to futures, and then they were pushing Top Step, which was the only futures firm at the time, and then it just kind of just went from there. And you've had Traderify into the mix, and it's just blown up.
I think Top Step got the Americans to ban Forex CFTs because then they make more bucks.
Well, yeah, well.
They paid off the SEC. Ban CFTs, send everyone to Top Step.
Yeah, this is options are a lot, but it's what I started with.
So I'll tell you what though, with the IB retracement and looking into that, this is why I love trading though, because I can look at my results and go, I've got a lot of flat days. You know, not performing badly, but can I do better? And then you see data like this being shown with like, oh, okay, well, maybe you don't need to be flat today. Maybe there's a data backed entry you can look at here. Have a look at your previous flat days. And that's what I'm going to, I don't know about anyone else in the chat, but that's going to be my homework over the next sort of week. So I'm going to look at my flat days and I'm going to look to see, well, with that edgeful report that was shown, it's like, can I, would those days have been winners if I use the edgeful data there? Can I have a few more, not just looking just to trade more for the sake of it, but can I find some more data-backed entries here?
Yeah. I think the biggest challenge for me is like I know every single report. I know exactly how they're calculated. I know exactly what they measure. I know exactly how to combine them because I've literally built every single, like we made every single one. I make the videos for them. I understand the concepts. I'm the one that tests that they're accurate. Like I don't have anyone else do that. Like every time we release a report, like I'm the one who tests whether it works across sessions, whether it works across weekdays, whether it works across like holidays, like how does it work? Like I test everything. So like I know exactly to the detail of exactly how everything works. So it's very easy for me to say, to read this chart and to say, oh, I'm seeing this, I'm seeing that, I'm seeing this, I'm seeing that. Oh, this played out already. We're going to go over here. We're going to go over do that. But like, how do you turn that into a not necessarily an onboarding, but like, how do you turn that into a feature? How do I like turn my knowledge of edgeful into a feature to say, all right, the IB already broke. The buy rejection's already in play. Or sorry, the rejection is no longer in play, played out. But what you can see is that if you look at the buy retracement report, 75% of the time you will get the pullback to the IB 75. And because there's a red opening candle and because price already broke the IB low, those are very bearish confluences already. So this is not a bad place to look for a short, maybe targeting the 0.1, the minus 0.1 extension. Like building that into a feature is just like, it feels like the Matrix.
Yep.
Because do we only mention the IB reports? Do we mention gap fill reports? Like I also said the inside bar stat when I was going over this trade. Like that's also something else that I know that. But
yeah,
that's such a challenge. And I'm building something now. It'll be a new version of the what's in play. I'm building something now that like I've actually been testing. And I'll let you guys test it too, obviously. But before even we like consider building it. But it's a very difficult problem to solve. It's like a very complicated puzzle because it's a balance of overwhelm, which is already like, I'm not going to pretend that it's not an issue. We have 150 something reports. Like people don't know where to start. Like some people, they come in, they know exactly what to do because they've been watching the streams. They saw something on YouTube. They follow you. They follow James. They follow Zinc. They follow all of the other people that use edgeful. And they see the use case that way. But not everyone does that. And also that's not the best experience for the user to have to go to YouTube to understand how the product works like all the education should be in one place. Everything should be in-house. So this like matrix problem that like I'm trying to solve now, I think that my solution is good. And I think it'll work because it doesn't require you to memorize or learn what all the reports do. That's the key. Is how do you get someone? Go ahead.
Yeah, go on, finish up.
I was just going to say, like, how do I download my knowledge of exactly how the reports work and when to use what and what's relevant today versus what's not relevant today versus the IB by close, like I was telling you about? Like, how many people do you think look at IB by close? Not that many, probably. Why? Because we don't talk about it. The way that, I mean, the way that...
You have to ask Elon to get those chips implanted in our brains sooner.
Yeah, I don't really want to do that, to be honest. But what were you going to say, Dan?
It's all, I think the challenge is because like for example, the inside bar, and all these sort of things, they're not necessarily trading strategies, are they?
Correct.
Because they don't appear every single day, or at least for a day trader, you know, they're not going to be attracted by that as a standalone strategy. So I suppose it's a case of how do you get a new user to be able to web together 2 or 3 reports that can make an actual trading strategy that's going to give them fairly consistent entries, you know, as a day trader, you know, because I know I haven't taken any trades this week, but I mean, let's be honest. If I don't take any trades next week as well, I'm going to be rocking in my chair a little bit. You can't expect trade. You know, it's one of those where I'm just as I'm talking now, that IB25 bounce is working out beautifully here. We're going to take the 0.1 extension level here, but I think for new edgeful users, it's a case of, you know, how can they web together 2 or 3 reports that they can use? Because I think, like you said, it's very easy to get overwhelmed, isn't it? And try and combine too much, and that's not what we want, is it?
Yeah, of course. And
look at this.
I mean, this is the
2025, by the way.
This is exactly what I was, and I wouldn't be surprised now if price goes to touch the minus 0.1. So you use the this is awesome, by the way. Took that IB25. Yeah. There's the magnet. It's actually James's fault.
It's a magnet.
Yeah, it's James's fault.
Forget about all the edgeful data. It was
it's just the magnet.
Yeah.
No, that basically mine was this. This is again, mine was the first 30 minutes was bearish. We take the opening range low. I'm looking just to play that move back down to pre-market lows and full out.
Yeah. So
nice.
It's about. I mean, that's the biggest challenge is how do we balance? Because we're never going to do signals, right? We're not going to say enter here, stop loss here. We would never do that. And it's this like impossible. I mean, it's not impossible. It's just like super complex puzzle to solve. This balance of like giving people that might not be. Like if we make everything around the New York IB, how does that work for London traders? If we make everything around the New York IB, how does that work for Globex or Asia traders? Because if you look at the IB stats, and I hope this is like giving you guys a little bit of a picture of what it's like to be on this side of the table. But if you look at the New York IB, 80% of the time on NQ, single break. If you go to the London IB, virtually the opposite.
Oh,
right?
Wow.
So the principles don't translate across sessions. So if you trade London, I can't give you the IB setup anymore. I need to give you something else. And now how do you manage this templated workflow for different okay, I swing trade. I can't be at the desk between 9:30 and 10:30. Or I can only be at the desk between 9:30 and 10:30. Your IB trade is like, if you're going to trade after 10, if you can only trade if you wait for the IB to close, you can't be at the desk anymore. The IB doesn't work for you. What do you need to do? Okay, 30-minute orb, maybe 30-minute IB, maybe. How does that impact the stats? What session so I don't want to pigeonhole edgeful into the IB. It has to have the freedom to work with different reports, because for those of you guys who have been around for a while, if you look at the gap fill used to be the IB. The gap fill used to be the core.
Yes.
Look at that.
I remember.
Look at that. It's not only does the gap not fill, I mean, or is the gap fill stats bad? Like, it actually doesn't fill more often than it does. Like, what are we going to do with that? Nothing. So you can't build the product around one report. So that's why we have the outside days, we have the inside bars, we have these other opening week range, we have these other things. So in dynamic markets, you guys can all look at what's working now. And that's why we built a discover page, because we didn't want to hard code these are the reports that you should look at. And how are you going to go find them? Are you going to go and click through every single one? Absolutely not. That's what the discovery is for. The discovery is purely meant to surface things that are working well. That's it. It's not meant for you to really learn how it works here. So, yeah, I mean, it should be an interesting next few months for edgeful, because this is like my main priority of being able to help you guys understand how to combine reports in a way that like we explain on stream.
Yeah.
So
there you go. Taking the 0.1 extension on NQ. That's a beautiful IB25 trade. That.
Just so you know, this was the original IB25 after the break.
Was it?
It was the original. The buy rejection was only like you and Zinc made that. This was always the original IB25 trade. That's why the buy retracement report, that's what this measures. It only measures after the first break, because that theoretically determines the side of the day. So once you have the first break, all right, now we know that theoretically today should be short bias only. Now what's the pullback that I can enter on to look for continuation so I can add in the buy levels after, which is exactly this is exactly the setup right now.
Yeah. But like you said, the opening candle continuation, IB high first, IB low second, break of IB low, a trace, but you got everything popping, haven't you?
Exactly.
Yeah.
For your bearish trade.
And the opening range
blow
breakout,
the VWAPs.
Well, I took the opening range breakout. Also, you can take that trade as well because the first 30 minutes was bearish, that opening candle continuation. So
and you had a gap up that filled.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It's also bearish. So.
But I thought someone told you on X today, though, that it doesn't work, the opening candle continuation, no?
Yeah, James, what happened?
Yeah, it doesn't work.
Yeah, no. You'll post anything on X and there'll always be someone in the comment section that will complain. So yeah, you can't please everyone. But no, guys, we are coming up to the hour. We actually just 5 minutes past. We appreciate all you guys tuning in. If you aren't liked or subscribed, make sure you are, and then we'll see you all on Monday. Andrew and I will be live on Monday, and then Dan and all of us will be live next week, Friday, as well. So have a good weekend, guys. I'm out of that trade on NQ for about 40 points. Have a good one. We'll see you guys all on Monday. Cheers.
See you guys.